Dear viewers, welcome to a fascinating journey through the power of the mind and the laws of the universe. Today, we'll explore a possibility that can radically transform your life, the ability to harness your energy to influence the outcome of significant events or even to request the universe to align circumstances according to your desires. If this concept seems far-fetched, I invite you to stay with me, as I'm about to unveil a universal quantum law comprised of 3 steps, along with insights that have rarely been shared before. Let's travel back to the 20th century, a time when the world was on the brink of experiencing an unprecedented shift in history. A revolutionary theory emerged, quantum physics, also known as the Copenhagen interpretation. The primary pioneer of this theory was Werner Heisenberg, a German theoretical physicist who was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1932 for his groundbreaking work in quantum mechanics. His matrix formulation of quantum mechanics was truly revolutionary, laying the foundation for understanding and describing the incredible behavior of minuscule subatomic particles. The Copenhagen interpretation posits that a quantum system exists in a superposition of states until an observation or measurement is made. During this superposition, the system can simultaneously exist in multiple states, without assuming any defined value. However, when a measurement or observation occurs, the system's wave function collapses into a particular state, and the system stabilizes in that definitive state. But don't worry if this sounds complex, it's merely an introduction. We don't need to delve into the technical aspects right now, as we're going to simplify the theory to make the knowledge not only easy to digest but also applicable to our daily lives. The collapse of the wave function is a non-deterministic process, meaning that it's impossible to predict with certainty which particular state will result after the collapse. We can only calculate probabilities for each possible state. The Copenhagen interpretation emphasizes the role of the observer in quantum theory, and this is crucial for what we're about to explore. According to this interpretation, quantum descriptions only make sense in relation to a specific observer or experiment. Furthermore, this interpretation doesn't attempt to offer a complete ontological explanation of the subatomic world, but rather focuses on the relationships between observables and measurements. Now, why is observation so important? It's significant because when we observe, we develop attention, and when we pay attention, something remarkable happens. We become capable of manifesting a desired quantum event in our lives. This is what many refer to as making a request to the universe. Today, I'm going to teach you how to direct your attention correctly, and you'll discover that it's the most powerful tool you have if you truly want to create realities. This is profound knowledge that isn't taught in conventional educational institutions or any other type of institution. To understand this, the first thing you need to grasp is how our focus can determine which version of reality will manifest. And for that, we need to understand how energies behave. Every time you feel stuck in your life and goals, if you're at a point where you're working to achieve something and simply not getting the expected results, you feel frustrated. And by surrounding yourself with negative energy and pessimism, you'll only attract more of that negative energy that will remain trapped around you. When energy is stagnant, you only repeatedly experience the same circumstances. You should know that what directs and allows the flow of energies is attention. Where attention goes, energy flows. And we can relate this to what the great Dr. Joe Dispenza says: our focus and our attention determine whether energy will flow or not and where it will go. Now, human beings possess 2 main types of attention: polar attention and non-polar attention. How do these 2 types of attention work? It's simple. Polar attention has the power to attract and repel reality. But we're more interested in attracting. When we're faced with a problem and analyze it with a cool head from different perspectives, isn't it much easier to find a solution? It happens that many times, when we're attracting, we're simultaneously repelling. On the other hand, non-polar attention is completely neutral and has the power to dissolve reality. But what does all this mean? Let's clarify it a bit. It means that when we think positively about something, life doesn't care about the true nature of our attention or the circumstances surrounding it, but about our feelings. For example, if we focus a lot of our attention on the lack of money, we'll always be faced with situations that make us spend more and more. However, if we think and feel that money flows harmoniously in our life, things will always happen that make us earn more money. That's why everything we feel, whether positive or negative, if we surround ourselves with any kind of feelings, is what we'll attract. Unfortunately, most people live their lives afraid that nothing will improve, that their projects are difficult to realize, always in survival mode, and this conditions us to live surrounded by those circumstances. But what can we do to change this reality? Well, it's very simple. Change your attention towards what you want instead of focusing on what you don't want. And this takes us back a bit to the contrast theory that Abraham talks about, which we'll explore another time. For now, we're going to practice a method called accept and redirect, using polar and non-polar attention. There are 3 main steps to put this into practice, and thus all the energy you give to negative attention will dissipate, and you'll have more energy available to create what you really want to achieve. Step number 1, accept. Accepting and imagining the worst possible scenario can be uncomfortable and distressing, but it can be useful to prepare and take preventive measures. Here's an example of how to do it. Imagine you have an important presentation at work. The worst possible scenario could be that you get extremely nervous or maybe completely forget your speech, a complete disaster in front of your colleagues and bosses. Once you've imagined that scenario, you could start planning preventive measures. For example, practicing the speech several times to make sure it's completely memorized, doing a pre-presentation to a group of acquaintances to familiarize yourself with the public speaking environment, as well as researching breathing and relaxation techniques. All of this will give you a sense of security and confidence. Although it's important to prepare for the worst possible scenarios, it's also necessary to remember that most of the time, these extreme situations don't materialize. We shouldn't allow the fear of the worst to prevent us from moving forward or enjoying our lives. When we accept something, we can't have resistance. You can't accept a circumstance and at the same time resist it. Thus, acceptance is the antidote to resistance. You won't be giving your energy to resist, but if you continue to resist, you continue to feed it, and thus it's more likely to become reality. Step number 2, perceive. You must perceive how this unfortunate event will be and remember that it's we who give positive or negative energy. It's necessary to learn to discard those thoughts that bring no benefit. Remember, if during the day you have at least 51% positive thoughts, that day is won. But you must be wondering how we can achieve this, and the answer lies in habits. Each day we reach that 51% of positive thoughts, we pave the way for the formation of a habit. Therefore, direct your attention towards positive thoughts and use this correctly. When you've practiced this method enough, you'll become unstoppable. By embracing these 3 steps and making them part of your daily life, your quantum events will manifest powerfully. Furthermore, applying the law that will grant you everything you desire, you can use the law of assumption to put it into practice. I'm going to share a very effective method from Neville Goddard, which is not to think about the goal, but to think from the goal, putting yourself in the role of the person you want to be. Don't miss it because this is crucial for manifestation. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to give it a like and also subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit from this message, and don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, reflections, and experiences. Thank you once again. I wish you great success as a manifester, and we'll see you in the next video. Remember, you have the power to create your reality. Quantum physics has shown us that the observer plays a crucial role in determining reality. You are that observer in your life. Direct your attention towards what you desire, accept what is, perceive the possibilities, and redirect your energy towards your goals. Constant practice of these principles can lead to profound changes in your life. Don't underestimate the power of your thoughts and emotions. Each day is an opportunity to manifest the reality you desire. Let's delve deeper into the concept of attention. Not the attention you receive from others, but the attention you dedicate to the world around you. This attention is an incredible tool, but often underestimated. Think about your last meal. Can you recall the flavors, textures, aroma? Or were you eating while scrolling through your phone, merely experiencing the food without really savoring it? This is a clear example of how we often live on autopilot, missing out on the richness of our experiences. paying attention isn't about forcing yourself to concentrate, but about being truly present in your own life. When you're really attentive, you begin to perceive things that previously went unnoticed. You might notice the concerns in your partner's voice that you previously ignored, or identify an opportunity at work that would have gone unnoticed if you weren't fully focused. The big question is, what are we missing when we don't pay attention? We're missing the subtle signs and messages that life gives us. These aren't mystical signs, but practical and real information that can guide our decisions and actions. For instance, when was the last time you really listened to your body? Not just when it's screaming in pain or illness, but in its daily signals. Are you ignoring signs of stress or fatigue? Are you setting aside that persistent feeling that it's time for a change in your career or relationship? Let's explore how being truly present can transform your lives and help you capture these important messages that are always around you. Attention is fundamental in our relationships, but we often take it for granted. How many times do we half listen to our loved ones, nodding our heads while our mind is elsewhere? What are we missing in terms of important information and emotional connections in these moments of distraction? At work, attention can be the difference between being mediocre and achieving excellence. It's not just about focusing on tasks, but being aware of the dynamics around you. Are you perceiving changes in your area that could impact your work? Are you noticing the strengths and weaknesses of your colleagues to collaborate more effectively? You might be thinking, all this sounds great, but how can I really improve my attention in a world full of distractions? It's a valid concern. We're constantly bombarded by notifications, advertisements, and an endless torrent of information. However, attention is a valuable and limited resource. How you choose to use it shapes your life. The good news is that improving your attention is a skill that can be trained with practice. Start with simple steps. In your next conversation, make a conscious effort to listen fully, without planning your response. When you're eating, try to identify all the flavors in your food. When walking, pay attention to the sensation of your feet touching the ground. These basic exercises can help train your brain to be more present. Remember, attention is a valuable and limited resource. How you choose to use it shapes your life. Are you directing your attention wisely? Are you using it to enrich your experiences and relationships, or are you allowing it to be diverted by endless distractions? As we move forward, ask yourself, what could change in your life if you started paying more attention? What opportunities, ideas, or connections could you discover? The answers to these questions could be the key to unlocking a fuller and more meaningful life. We've discussed the importance of paying attention, but what comes next is crucial. It's good to be attentive to the world around you, but what really makes a difference is what you do with that information. This is where action and intuition come into play. Let's talk about intuition. It's that gut feeling, that inner voice that arises when you face a decision. Some call it instinct, others a sixth sense. Regardless of what you call it, intuition is a powerful tool that we often ignore in a world dominated by logic. Think of a time when you had a strong feeling about something, but couldn't explain why. Maybe it was a job opportunity that seemed perfect, but there was something that didn't convince you. Or perhaps you met someone new and felt an instant connection. That's your intuition in action. Here's the trick, intuition is only useful if you act on it. How many times have you had a hunch, ignored it, and then wished you had listened to that inner voice? We've all been through this. The key is to learn to trust your intuition and have the courage to act on it. You might be wondering, how can I differentiate between genuine intuition and random thoughts or fears? This is an important question. Intuition usually appears as a clear and calm thought or feeling. Fear, on the other hand, tends to be more intense, insistent, and often comes accompanied by physical symptoms like a racing heart or sweaty palms. Learning to recognize these differences can help you make better decisions and live a life more aligned with your true self. Let's explore how to cultivate this ability and use intuition to transform your life. Acting based on your intuition doesn't mean recklessly jumping into adventure. It means combining that gut feeling with your rational thinking, finding a balance between logic and instinct. When you manage to do this, you make decisions that align more with your true self and your deepest values. But intuition alone is not enough. It needs to be accompanied by action. You can have the best instincts, but if you don't act on them, nothing will change. And this is where many of us stumble. We feel that inner impulse, we know what we should do, but we hesitate, procrastinate, and let fear hold us back. Why is it so difficult to act? Often it's because action involves risk. It means stepping out of your comfort zone, trying something new, and possibly failing. But consider this, isn't it a greater risk to remain stagnant, never knowing what could have happened if you had taken that leap? Taking action doesn't need to be about big life-changing decisions. Sometimes it's as simple as reaching out to an old acquaintance who comes to mind, or signing up for that class you've been considering. These small actions guided by intuition can lead to significant changes over time. Moreover, it's important to recognize that action and intuition form a feedback loop. The more you act based on your intuition, the stronger and clearer it becomes. And the more you trust your intuition, the easier it becomes to act. So, how to start strengthening this connection between intuition and action? Start small. Pay attention to the hunches that arise throughout your day and make a conscious effort to act on them. Each small action will help reinforce this connection and make your intuition a more reliable guide in your life. When you perceive a hunch, take a moment to acknowledge it. If it seems appropriate and doesn't pose danger, act on it. It can be something as simple as choosing a different route to work or starting a conversation with someone you've noticed. As you practice, you're likely to notice that your intuition becomes sharper and your ability to act on it strengthens. You'll start to notice opportunities that previously went unnoticed and make decisions with more confidence and less stress. In the end, the combination of sharp intuition and courageous action becomes a powerful force. It allows you to navigate life's complexities with grace and purpose, seizing opportunities and avoiding pitfalls. And most importantly, it helps you live a life true to your authentic self. Silence is rare in our noisy world, but it's often in silence where we hear the most significant messages. The practice of listening goes beyond hearing words, it's about tuning into the subtle frequencies of life. Imagine yourself in a room full of people. Conversations resonate around you, music plays in the background, and phone notifications sound. Now, close your eyes. What do you hear beyond the obvious noise? Maybe the hum of the air conditioning, the distant sound of traffic, or the rhythm of your own breathing. This deeper level of listening is what we're aiming for. But how do we cultivate this ability? It starts by creating moments of stillness in your day. For some, it might be getting up before others to savor a cup of coffee in silence. Others might find peace in a midday walk in nature. The key is consistency. Just as you wouldn't expect to run a marathon without training, you can't expect to hear life's subtle messages without regular practice. Meditation is often seen as the primary way to develop listening skills, but it's not the only option. Activities like gardening, painting, or even washing dishes with full attention can serve the same purpose. The goal is to quiet the incessant chatter of the mind and open space for deeper insights to emerge. As you practice this mindfulness, you may notice changes in how you interact with the world. Conversations become more meaningful when you truly listen to what others are saying, rather than just waiting for your turn to speak. Decision-making becomes clearer when you learn to listen to your own inner wisdom. But what happens when life seems to be shouting at you? When problems pile up and stress increases, it can seem impossible to hear anything beyond the chaos. In these moments, the practice of listening becomes even more crucial. By stepping back and creating space to listen, solutions often emerge that weren't visible in the heat of the moment. The art of listening goes beyond simply hearing, it involves all your senses. Have you noticed how a specific aroma can transport you back in time, evoking memories and emotions you thought you had forgotten? Or how the touch of a loved one's hand can communicate more than 1,000 words? These are forms of listening, of being tuned into the world around and within you. In our professional lives, deep listening can be a turning point. It allows you to capture the undercurrents in the workplace, anticipate trends in your industry, and truly understand the needs of your clients or colleagues. It's the difference between hearing words and comprehending their true meaning. As you develop the skill of listening, you may become more patient. The urgency to fill every silence with words or to rush to conclusions diminishes. You begin to value the pauses, the spaces between words, recognizing that this is where true communication often occurs. However, listening isn't always easy. Sometimes, what we hear challenges our beliefs or takes us out of our comfort zone. The key is to listen without judgment, to be open to new ideas and perspectives. This doesn't mean you need to agree with everything you hear, but to consider it fairly. Imagine what could change in your life if you committed to truly listening, with an open mind, for the next week. To your loved ones, to your colleagues, to your own body and mind. The insights gained from such an experiment can be profoundly revealing. Throughout your days, challenge yourself to listen at a deeper level. Notice the subtleties in tone when someone speaks. Pay attention to the emotions behind the words. Listen to the silence between phrases. And most importantly, listen to your own inner voice, that quiet wisdom often drowned out by the noise of daily life. The practice of listening is an ongoing journey. It's not about reaching a destination, but about constantly improving your ability to tune into life's frequencies. As you progress, you may discover that the universe has always been speaking to you. You just needed to learn how to listen. Trust and courage go hand in hand when it comes to following the signs the universe sends us. Noticing these signs is one step, but acting based on them is another challenge. Trust begins within you. Do you believe in your ability to interpret and follow the signs around you? Many of us question our intuitions, dismissing them as mere coincidences or fantasies. But what if those hunches, those gut feelings, were actually valuable insights? Developing self-trust isn't about becoming infallible. It's about recognizing that you possess inner wisdom, even if you don't always get it right. Every time you honor your instincts, you're strengthening that trust muscle. It's like compound interest, small acts of self-trust accumulate, creating a solid foundation of self-confidence over time. However, trust isn't just internal. It also involves having faith in something greater than yourself, whether it's the universe, fate, or the interconnectedness of all things. This type of trust allows you to take leaps without seeing the entire path ahead. How would your decisions change if you truly believed that the universe was supporting you? Now, let's address courage. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. When the universe pushes you towards a new direction, it often means venturing into the unknown, which can be scary. Your mind may try to keep you safe in your comfort zone, imagining worst-case scenarios. Courage is what allows you to recognize these fears and move forward anyway. It's what drives you to make that career change, have that difficult conversation, or pursue a long-postponed dream. Sometimes, courage manifests in big, bold actions. Other times it's quiet and steady, like choosing to be authentic in a world that often rewards conformity. Building courage is similar to developing physical strength. You start small and gradually face bigger challenges. Each time you face a fear, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you imagined. Trust and courage work in perfect harmony. Trust provides the foundation necessary to take bold actions, while each courageous step strengthens your trust in yourself and the universe. But there's an important question to consider: neither trust nor courage guarantees specific outcomes. The universe may be guiding you, but it doesn't promise an obstacle-free path. What it offers is the opportunity for growth, learning, and a life aligned with your true self. So, how can you cultivate trust and courage in your daily life? Start by honoring your instincts in small actions. If you feel a sudden urge to call an old acquaintance, do it. If a book catches your attention, read it. These small acts of alignment accumulate and create a solid foundation. When facing bigger decisions, take a moment to quiet your mind and listen to your inner voice. What is it telling you? Can you find the courage to follow that wisdom, even if it's challenging? Remember, every great achievement, every positive change in the world, began with someone trusting their vision and having the courage to pursue it. You have that same potential within you. As you move forward, ask yourself, what would you do if you really trusted yourself and the universe? What courageous step are you being called to take now? History is replete with individuals who listened to the universe's call and acted with unwavering trust and courage. Their stories are beacons illuminating the potential that resides within each of us. Consider the life of Mother Teresa, who dedicated her existence to serving the poor and sick in Calcutta. She didn't start with grand plans or resources, but with a simple conviction to help those in need. Her trust in her calling and the courage to act transformed thousands of lives and inspired millions around the world. Think about Malala Yousafzai, who defied threats to her life to stand up for girls' education. Her courage was born from a deep belief in the importance of her mission, even in the face of extreme danger. Nelson Mandela's life is a remarkable example of trust and courage. He maintained his vision of a free and equal South Africa during 27 years of imprisonment, believing that change would come and having the courage to be the catalyst for that transformation. These individuals didn't possess special powers or extraordinary abilities. What set them apart was their willingness to listen to their inner voice and the courage to act on it, even when it seemed impossible or foolish to others. Now imagine what could happen if you approached your life with the same level of trust and courage. How could your actions, even the small ones, create ripples of positive change in your world? Recognizing the signs from the universe is just the beginning. The real magic happens when you take those insights and transform them into concrete actions. This is where true change occurs, not just in your circumstances, but in who you are as a person. Transformation doesn't always require grand gestures or a complete life overhaul. Often it's built through small, consistent actions that, over time, accumulate and produce significant results. Think of this as sculpting a statue. A masterpiece isn't created with a single chisel stroke. Instead, it's the collection of many small, deliberate cuts that reveals the hidden form within the stone. So, how do you start this process of transformation? It begins with awareness. Pay attention to the areas of your life where you feel an urge for change. It might be in your career, your relationships, or your health. These are often the areas where the universe is nudging you to grow. Once you've identified these areas, the next step is to act. But this is where many become paralyzed. They wait for perfect conditions or for all doubts to disappear. Here's the hard truth: that day will never come. Action requires a leap of faith. Imagine if you took one small step today towards the change you desire. It might be updating your resume, having an honest conversation with a loved one, or taking a walk. These actions may seem small, but they initiate a movement of powerful forces. As you act, it's natural to encounter resistance. This can come from within, through your own fears and doubts, or from outside, like skepticism from others. How do you overcome this resistance? Reconnect with your why. Why is this change important to you? What's at stake if you don't act? Transformation also demands patience. We live in a world of instant gratification, but true lasting change takes time. Every small step counts. Every action, no matter how minor it seems, is a brick in the construction of your new reality. Over time, these actions add up and reveal a new way of living, aligned with your true self and your deepest goals. Therefore, don't underestimate the power of small actions. They are the first steps towards profound and lasting transformation. It's like planting a tree. You don't see results immediately, but with constant care and attention, it eventually grows into something magnificent. Throughout this process, it's essential to remain open and flexible. The path of transformation rarely follows exactly what we imagine. The universe may present unexpected opportunities or challenges, and your ability to adapt and flow with these changes is crucial for success. Action generates action. As you begin to make changes, you're likely to discover that your energy and motivation increase. Success in one area of life often extends to others. Improving your physical health can positively impact your performance at work and in your relationships. But what happens when things don't go as planned? When you face setbacks or failures, this is the point where many give up. However, those who truly listen to the universe understand that these challenges are part of the journey. They are opportunities for growth, not reasons to give up. How would your approach to life change if you saw every setback as a valuable lesson? As you progress on this path of transformation and action, you're likely to notice changes not only in your external circumstances but also in who you are as a person. you may become more confident, resilient, and more in tune with yourself and the world around you. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, but progress. Every step you take, no matter how small, is moving you forward. Every action taken in alignment with the universe's guidance is transforming you into the person you're meant to be. So, what action are you being called to take right now? What's the first step towards the transformation you seek? The universe has given you the signs, now it's up to you to act. The journey of listening to the universe's call is ongoing, a lifelong adventure that unfolds each passing day. It's a path that demands attention, trust, courage, and action, but the rewards are immeasurable, a life lived with purpose, authenticity, and deep satisfaction. Throughout this exploration, we've delved into various aspects of tuning into the universe's guidance. We discussed the importance of paying attention to the subtlest details around us, the power of combining intuition with action, and the transformative potential of trust and courage. What has become clear is that it's not about passively waiting for the universe to hand you your destiny on a silver platter. It's about actively participating in life, being present in each moment, and having the audacity to follow where your inner wisdom leads you. Consider for a moment how your life could change if you fully embraced this approach. How could your relationships deepen if you truly listened, not just to the words, but to the unspoken messages in every interaction? How could your career flourish if you trusted your instincts and had the courage to pursue opportunities that align with your true passions? The examples we explored, from Mother Teresa's compassionate service to Malala Yousafzai's brave advocacy for education, show us the incredible impact one person can have when they listen to their inner call and act with conviction. These individuals didn't start with the intention of changing the world. They simply responded to what they felt they had to do, one step at a time. Therefore, ask yourself, what's the first step you're being called to take today? How can you respond to that call with courage and conviction? You might be thinking, but I'm not trying to change the world, I just want to live a good life. Here's the fact. By living in alignment with your true self and following the universe's guidance, you are indeed changing the world. Every act of kindness, every decision made with integrity, every step towards your authentic self has a ripple effect, impacting those around you in ways you may never fully understand. It's natural to feel overwhelmed or unsure at times. The path ahead may not always be clear. You might wonder if you're interpreting the signs correctly or if you have the strength to move forward. These doubts are part of the human experience and don't mean you're on the wrong path. Often, they're signs that you're challenging yourself, going beyond your comfort zone, which is where real growth happens. So, what's next? How do you apply what you've learned to your life? Start small. Pay attention to the little impulses you feel throughout the day. When you feel like reaching out to someone, do it. When you feel drawn to a particular book or course, explore it. Practice listening, not just to others, but to your environment and, most importantly, to yourself. Create spaces of silence in your day where you can hear your inner voice more clearly. This can be through meditation, walks in nature, or simply sitting quietly with a cup of tea. When you receive guidance, whether it's a hunch, a recurring thought, or an unexpected opportunity, have the courage to act on it. Start with small steps if big ones seem too daunting. Each action you take reinforces your trust in yourself and the universe. Remember, transformation is an ongoing journey, and every small step counts. By living in accordance with your true self and embracing the universe's guidance, you're creating a more authentic and meaningful life, and contributing to a better world in ways that may be more profound than you imagine. Be patient with yourself. Transforming your life is a process, not an event. There will be mistakes and setbacks along the way. These are not failures, they're valuable lessons that are part of your journey. Treat yourself with gentleness and compassion as you navigate this path. Stay open to the unexpected. Sometimes, the universe's plan for you is much bigger than you could have imagined for yourself. Be willing to let go of your preconceived notions about how things should unfold and embrace the adventure of the unknown. Above all, trust. Trust in your ability to perceive the universe's signs. Trust in your courage to act on them. Trust that, even when things don't make sense in the moment, there's a greater purpose at play. You're on the brink of a life filled with meaning, purpose, and joy. The universe is constantly communicating with you, offering guidance and support. Will you choose to listen? Will you have the courage to follow where it leads? The choice is yours, but know this, you have within you everything you need to live an extraordinary life. The universe is waiting to guide you. Are you ready to embark on this incredible journey? Remember, each day is a new opportunity to tune into the universe, to listen to its call, and to act with courage. No matter where you are on your journey now, you have the power to take the next step towards a fuller, more meaningful life. So I invite you, starting today, to begin paying more attention to the subtle signs around you. Practice deep listening, trust your intuition, and have the courage to act. Celebrate every small step you take in this direction, because each one brings you closer to your true self and the life you're meant to live. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. The universe is with you, guiding and supporting you every step of the way. Trust the process, keep the faith, and be open to the wonders that will unfold in your life. May your journey be filled with discoveries, growth, and joy. The universe is calling you. Are you ready to answer?